many and re-educated the children to accept those who slaughtered their family. They're at that point again. They are now at that point. Like we went to Willie Lynch last week to prove that it was a 300-year period, which was what, 1712? It was 1712, right? Mm-hmm. Willie Lynch introduced it in 1712. They knew that the program would last 300 years. Now we're in 2012. So they knew that they would be at a point of re-education, that the brainwashing of Willie Lynch would dissipate. So it's re-education time. Chapter and verse. Finish reading.
Matthew 5 and 14.
Matthew 5 and 14. Read.
You are the light of the world.
We are the light of the world.
A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it gives a light unto all that are in the house.
So some people have the light, but they want to hide their light.
Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works.
So you must put your light on a table so that everyone can see the works that the Most High is doing. Read.
And glorify your Father which is in heaven.
And glorify a higher. Don't be afraid.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law.
Don't even put it in your mind. Now Christ is saying, listen, don't think that I've come to destroy the law or the prophets, the Old Testament. Read.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
I've come not to destroy, but to do what?
But to fulfill.
But to fulfill what was written in the Old Testament.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
That means the law will stand until all be fulfilled. That means the law stands. The Old Testament stands. Everything we read in Leviticus 20th chapter, according to the Most High, stands. Okay? The angels are recording the sins of man and the deeds of man based on the law that was written. Read.
Whoso therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
So if you do and teach the commandments written of in Scripture, you shall be called the greatest when Christ returns.
For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
So our righteousness must exceed the righteousness of the Pharisees and the scribes.
Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
Read, Lawyer, I need you to pick up the 22nd verse. Go ahead.
Verse 22. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah.
Rakah. This means fool or vain fellow. You know how sometimes you look at someone and because of the way they act and whatever the case is, you call them fools and all that? You're not supposed to do that. Read.
Whosoever shall say to his brother, Rakah, shall be in danger of the judgment. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Verse 23. Therefore if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift.
So this is speaking of prayer. We go to the Most High to pray for things we need. But yet we won't forgive our brother. So Christ is saying, well, listen, don't go and pray for something until you first reconcile with your brother first. How can you expect anything from the Father if you are not right with your brother or sister? Read.
Verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him.
And this is the key point right here that's going to get us through what they're about to do to us. Read.
Agree with thine adversary quickly.
Agree with thine adversary quickly. That means when they set up these guards and these checkpoints and these nihilists and these sick officers who are taking these jobs. Read.
Whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge.
So when they pick you up from one of these checkpoints, or you're going through a checkpoint, or whatever these guys say, agree with and do. They have your life in their hands. They can decide to let you walk through or bring you before the judge. So if you try to get snotty with these people, talking about I'm an American citizen and and try to, I got rights, you're going to be the first people they move to the next step according to Christ. Let's see that next step.
And the judge deliver thee to the officer.
And the judge will deliver you to the officer. You know who they is, your internment officers. Read.
And thou be cast into prison.
And thou be cast into these re-education camps. These internment camps. These what they would call emergency shelters. Now the difference between these camps that they have and prison is that if you are poor, there's a great chance you'll check in and won't check out. A great chance. Why? Based on some of the numbers that came from the leaked document of government. They need to get America down. They need to kill 25 million. They have to kill 25 million. That's their number. So if you are in their hands, brothers and sisters, you're nothing to them. Seen the other day, showed these cops who I think it's a 1-year anniversary or whatever the case is, these cops who came out and put all their weight on this one guy and beat him to death. Laid on him and beat him to death. And they're screaming out, don't restrain, don't restrain. And the person don't even have the power to restrain, but this is what they put out there, knowing that there's people are filming now. So they say certain things so that so they can spin their story in the report. Put their weight on this guy and beat him to death. And the guy was screaming and hollering, and just beat him dead. There's no recourse. There's no repercussion for this. These are the people they hired. Read on. Read on, lawyer.
Verse 26.
Go ahead.
Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence, till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing.
It says, thou will not come out unless you pay the uttermost farthing. I notice now they set up these so-called checkpoints, quote unquote, for DUIs to find out who's drinking. That's to get you acclimated to checkpoints. Alright? They have nothing to do with DUIs. They run you through the system to see if you got warrants and all that. They're not checking, just having you blow in something. They running names. They want to see who's in the database. So if you want it for court, something, any type of warrants, they're taking you in. These are checkpoints, not no DUIs. They've already acclimated them in society. Do they have them in the UK yet?
Yes, sir.
They have them? Supposed to be for drunk driving, right? They acclimating this. Seen something this morning where in an elementary school, they rolled this out in elementary school. You know, they have to use usually minority or a mixed race school. They have children now that they're acclimating into the system. Their parents can come put the money on the books at the school. And now they don't have to worry about being bullied or getting their lunch money taken from them. They just scan their finger and it deducts from the amount depending on what they get. And it deducts from the amount your mother